She's a frothy little bubble with a flimsy kind of charm, and with very little trouble I could break a little arm. Ow! Ow! Why would a fella want a girl like her? So obviously unusual. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a usual girl like me? Her cheeks are a pretty shade of pink, but not any pinker than a rose's. Her skin may be delicate and soft, but not any softer than a dose's. Her neck is no whiter than a swan's. She's only as dainty as a daisy. She's only as graceful as a bird. So why is a fella going crazy? Oh, why would a fella want a girl like her? A girl who's merely lovely. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a girl who's merely me? What's the matter with the men? What's the matter with the men? What's the matter with the men? Yes, he's witty, so disarming, and I really like the way he holds a room. Clever, cunning, ever charming. How do I make him see I'm special? Oh, it's a pity. It's a pity I'm as pretty. I'm as pretty. Plus I've got the patience of a perfect saint. So I'm waiting, always waiting. Nevertheless, I'm in a mess. Loosen my dress. Help me, I'm starting to faint. Why would a fella want a girl like her? A girl who isn't dizzy. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a high-strung girl like me? Her cheeks are a pretty shade of pink, but not any pinker than a rose's. Her skin may be delicate and soft, but not any softer than a dose's. Her neck is no wider than a swan's. She's only as dainty as a daisy. What's the matter with She's only as graceful as a bird. So why is a fella going crazy? Oh! Why would a fella want a girl like her? A girl who's merely lovely. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a girl who's merely me? What's the matter with the men? What's the matter with the men? What's the matter with the men? She's the matter, let me at her. What's the matter with the men? What's the matter with the men? What's the matter with the men? So I've been on some pretty bad dates in college, and one time I went on a date with a guy who gave me a rundown of every single girl he's ever dated since middle school. Anna, Brianne, Catherine, Katie, Melanie. I was able to recite the whole list in alphabetical order. And then he wrote me a love sonnet where it was all about another person, go figures, except then at the end he wrote, and then I met you. Date one. He told me he was a drug dealer, but that he would totally stop dealing drugs for me if that's what I wanted, which I appreciate. That's kind of sweet, good to be upfront. And by the end of the night, he was humming I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles, and he wouldn't hold my hand. But I just pretended I didn't get the hint because I was already there for like 5 hours and I wasn't into it. So I learned that night you can leave a date. I didn't know. You can leave. And I should have ran. I was in love with this guy in high school. His name was Tyler Leroy. He was the 3-year captain of varsity soccer. His mother baked and cooked me. She was Betty Crocker. And then Tyler was a little bit off his rocker. I thought I was in love with this guy. He took me to my junior and senior prom. And made love like he was being shipped to Vietnam. And whenever I got anytime, you had to stay calm. So I thought he was the one. But by fall of junior year, I was filling up with fear. I'd live alone with his career. Jakey, I've gotta run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run, 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 run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run, 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 run. Tyler, then Jakey, everybody, I've gotta run. I was in love with this guy in Catherine. Valley and bought a bag of weed to smoke with me behind the alley. And every time we kissed, he wrote it down to keep a tally. So I thought he was the one. But by fall of junior year, I was filling up with fear. I'd live alone with his mom, Matthew. I've gotta run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run, run, run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run, 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 run. Matthew, I've gotta run. But at some point I've gotta stop blaming everything but me, pretending that I know what love's supposed to be. I need to take a chance, and if I'm patient I'll be fine. I swear to not run away. I will not run away. Next time. So, I've been involved with this guy from work. His name is Jeffrey DePry. And by the age of 28, he has a 7-figure salary. And in his massive home is an impressionistic gallery. He has his killer body like he cannot keep a gallery. Could I be in love with this man? So I stuck to my guns, and I told him I'd stay. And we planned a lavish wedding to take place in early May. But when the priest asks if I'll love him for forever and a day, I'm not sure what I'll say. I'm not sure that he's the one. Do I faint and hit the floor? 'Cause I know I'm needing more. There's a world left to explore. Karina, you've gotta run. You've gotta run. You've gotta run, 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 run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run, 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 run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run. I've gotta run, run, run. Jeffrey, I've gotta run.
So this next song is about all the men in my life tragically being killed by Kandarian demons. So I've compiled a list of all the people I wish were killed by Kandarian demons. Okay, so first off, we have the person that invented spikes on concrete streets so homeless people can't sit down. Okay, landlords that raise the price of rent yearly. Restaurants that have to make you wait for your entire party to be present, but I'm here and I'm hungry. Theaters that start the show on time, I'm running late. Anyone that plays the bagpipes publicly, shame on you, that's an indoor instrument. Chipotle workers that don't put enough guac in your bowl. Teachers that lecture the class on poor attendance, you're reaching the wrong audience. And Donald J. Trump.
All the men in my life keep getting killed by Kandarian demons.
First there was Ed, a really nice guy. Didn't talk too much, but I didn't mind. I was all set to marry him, but before we could consummate, Ed was killed by a Kandarian demon. Then there was Daddy, who I could count on. He loved to read the Necromonicon. He also enjoyed playing board games, but he can't sink my battleship now, 'cause Dad was killed by a Kandarian demon. They say love is cruel, and I believe them. My heart's always broken, 'cause the men in my life keep getting killed by Kandarian demons.
Kandarian demons.